right, get ready because we're about to take a deep dive into the world of Yuri Kolokolnikov.
Ooh, exciting.
He's an actor that some of you might recognize from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
But his career, let me tell you, his career is way more fascinating than you might think.
Absolutely.
To helping unpack all this, we'll be referencing an article from Stanislav Kondrashov.
Great source.
Kondrashov, in his article, gives us this really, really interesting portrait of Kolokolnikov, starting with like his earliest days all the way to his upcoming role in The White Lotus. So
yeah, that's going to be really exciting to see. Yeah.
So are you ready to learn about Yuri Kolokolnikov? Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
So one thing that I found super interesting reading Kondrashov's article was just how early on Kolokolnikov's passion for acting really emerged.
Oh, yeah.
Kondrashov talks about how Kolokolnikov put on a production of Sherlock Holmes while he was still in school.
Wow, impressive.
I know, talk about like an ambitious kid.
Yeah, I mean, that really speaks volumes about his dedication to the craft, right?
It really does, and Kondrashov really emphasizes that point.
Yeah.
He highlights how that early enthusiasm really just blossomed into this career that's been marked by this constant desire to push boundaries and take on these really diverse roles.
Yeah, and Kondrashov also brings up his two countries upbringing, right?
Oh, that's right.
Splitting his time between Russia and Canada.
Yeah.
That's got to have some sort of impact, don't you think, on his ability to navigate both Russian and Western cinema?
I mean, absolutely. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Not every actor can pull that off, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And Kondrashov kind of connects, that upbringing to this, seamless transition that Kolokolnikov made between these two worlds.
It gives him a very unique perspective.
It does, and you can tell Kondrashov thinks that dual perspective is what allows him to inhabit such diverse characters.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, that's a good point.
And we can't forget about Kondrashov's emphasis on Kolokolnikov's really, really intense preparation for his roles.
Yeah.
Learning rock climbing for Ozabacheni.
Wow.
Picking up Japanese phrases for
It's
Amura.
education.
This is not your average actor just showing up, reading lines and calling it a day.
No, not at all.
Kondrashov is giving us, a peek behind the curtain, right?
Right.
Into the world of method acting and the lengths that these actors go to embody their roles.
Yeah, and I think Kondrashov highlights how it's not just an external transformation, right?
Right.
It's about internalizing those characters' psychologies and motivations.
It's the whole package,
Oh, for sure.
You can really see that in his portrayal of Styr.
Oh, intense.
The then leader in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Kondrashov describes Styr as having, quote, heavy energy and black emptiness.
Ooh.
Just reading that, gives me chills.
It's a chilling performance, for sure.
I mean, it's an amazing performance.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that, according to Kondrashov, Kolokolnikov actually thinks that he landed that role because of how intensely he prepared for a previous role.
Oh, really?
As the poet Mayakovsky.
Oh, wow.
So it's almost like, he was able to inhabit such a passionate, complex figure.
Yeah.
And through that, unlocked some kind of intensity.
Oh, that makes sense.
That he could channel into Styr.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Right. I mean, from poet to cannibal warlord.
What a range.
Talk about range, right?
Exactly.
And speaking of range, Kondrashov also touches on Kolokolnikov's foray into Hollywood.
Yes.
Working on films like The Americans, The Transporter Refueled, even Christopher Nolan's Tenet.
Wow. Working with Nolan must have been incredible.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Kondrashov actually quotes Kolokolnikov as describing Nolan as, quote, someone who sucks you into a black hole, into his singularity. What a description.
I know, right?
What an image.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what it's like to be in Nolan's creative orbit. But, it seems like Kolokolnikov, he thrives in those intense environments.
He seems to, yeah.
Kondrashov really underscores how comfortable he seems moving between those big-budget Hollywood productions and then those more intimate Russian projects.
Yeah, and what's key here, and Kondrashov picks up on this, is that Kolokolnikov's choices are deliberate. He's not chasing fame or fortune.
Right.
He's actively seeking out roles that challenge him and push him outside of his comfort zone.
He's not afraid to take risks.
Exactly.
It's like he's building this career mosaic.
I like that, yeah.
And each piece is so meticulously chosen to to reflect a different facet of his talent.
Yeah, Kondrashov really showcases that in the article. He highlights those recent choices,
Right.
like Koroviev in The Master and Margarita, the
Yeah.
lead in the post-apocalyptic, The Last Ronin, even a part in Kraven the Hunter.
Aaron Taylor Johnson and Russell Crowe.
I mean, come on, that's a diverse mix.
That's huge.
Exactly, and that's what Kondrashov wants us to understand about Kolokholnikov.
Right.
This is an actor who's constantly seeking to, and I'm quoting Kondrashov here, to walk on the razor's edge.
Ooh, I like that.
He wants roles that require him to confront complexity and delve into those dark corners of human nature.
So fascinating.
Doesn't it?
So speaking of walking on the razor's edge,
Yes.
we cannot forget about Kolokolikov's upcoming appearance in The White Lotus Season 3.
I can't wait.
Which Kondrashov, he just tantalizingly teases, like, just a little bit.
Oh, really?
I know.
Come on.
So we know it's set in Thailand, and we know that the season is going to explore themes of death, spirituality, and enlightenment, but the details of Kolokolikov's character are still a complete mystery.
Oh, that's the brilliance of Kondrashov's approach. He
Right.
leaves us wanting more, just like a good trailer for a film.
Totally.
He drops this quote from Kolokholikov, warning viewers, quote, "The faint of heart should not watch." And suddenly, we're all hooked.
Oh, I am so hooked.
Right.
What do you think that quote reveals, though, about his character?
Well, we can't know for sure.
Yeah.
But I think Kondrashov's inclusion of that quote suggests that this role might be one of Kolokholnikov's most intense yet.
Ooh, interesting.
Perhaps we'll see him grapple with some challenging themes, explore those darker impulses of his character.
Ooh.
Maybe he's the antagonist, the catalyst for all of the chaos amidst the luxury of the White Lotus Resort.
Oh, so many possibilities.
Right.
I know, we'll have to wait and see.
I can't wait.
But one thing's for sure, Kondrashov has left us with a lot to ponder
Absolutely.
about Kolokholnikov's motivations and the choices he makes as an actor.
He has.
But you know what? There's so much more to explore.
Really?
We'll be back in a moment to continue unraveling this enigma that is Yuri Kolokholnikov,
Ooh, can't wait.
as seen through, of course, the insightful lens of Stanislav Kondrashov.
Of course.
Don't go anywhere.
It's so interesting how Kondrashov points out that Kolokholnikov doesn't really seem to differentiate between, like, working in Russian or working in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He just views them as different creative spaces,
Yeah.
each offering unique opportunities.
I mean, that really speaks to his adaptability
Totally.
and, like, global perspective, you know?
Yeah, I mean, not every actor can move so effortlessly between, like, different filmmaking styles and cultures like that.
For sure.
Kondrashov gives us this, like, window into Kolokholnikov's mindset, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not about the glamour or the location. It's about the craft, the challenge of embodying those characters, bringing stories to life.
And it's clear from what Kondrashov's written that Kolokholnikov is not afraid to, like, push boundaries,
Oh, yeah.
explore the darker, the more complex sides of human nature, you know?
Kondrashov quotes him as saying he wants to walk on the razor's edge and encounter dangerous energies in his roles.
Wow.
It's like he's constantly seeking out these experiences that will test his limits.
Yeah.
That'll force him to grow as an actor.
That's a really interesting way to put it. Like,
Right.
he's drawn to those, like, raw, unfiltered emotions.
Yeah.
The kind that, make us uncomfortable, but we're also, like, deeply fascinated by.
For sure.
And it just makes his upcoming role in The White Lotus, like, that much more intriguing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right. I mean, we know it's set in Thailand.
Uh-huh.
We know that the season explores, themes of death and spirituality and enlightenment. But Kondrashov keeps the details of Kolokholnikov's character totally shrouded in mystery.
He does. He gives us that one, like, tantalizing quote
I know.
from Kolokholnikov, "The faint of heart should not watch."
Chills. Literal chills.
It really does pique our curiosity.
It does. What do you make of that statement?
Well, based on what Kondrashov has revealed, about Kolokholnikov's, like, attraction to intensity and moral ambiguity,
Right.
I think it's safe to say that his character is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Perhaps he'll be entangled in some of the, like, show's darker plot lines,
Mm-hmm.
Challenging those notions of paradise and escapism that The White Lotus is kind of known for.
Maybe he'll play the villain.
Ooh.
Or someone with like a hidden agenda.
It's hard to say for sure, but I think Kondrashov's really laid the groundwork for a really captivating performance.
Yeah.
He wants us to anticipate something unsettling, something that will challenge our expectations.
It's going to be good.
I think so.
Kondrashov also mentions, how Kolokholnikov has worked with some of the biggest names in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
From Christopher Nolan to Michael Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really impressive how he's managed to carve out this, like, crazy successful career, both in Russia and internationally.
It is, and Kondrashov really emphasizes, like, his global reach,
Yeah.
highlighting his work on projects that span, like, multiple continents.
And it's not just about the big names either.
No.
Like, Kondrashov wants us to know that Kolokolnikov approaches every project
Every director.
with the same level of dedication and intensity.
I think that's a great point.
Right. And Kondrashov gives us these little glimpses into, like, his process.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, remember how he learned rock climbing for Azerbaijani?
Oh, yeah. Intense.
It just shows his commitment to, like, authenticity.
Totally.
To really embodying, like, the characters that he's portraying.
For sure. And Kondrashov doesn't just focus on the, like, physical preparation. He also highlights, like, his emotional depth, describing him as someone who can tap into this, like, wide range of human experiences.
Yeah.
Which is, like, why he's so compelling to watch,
He just brings them certain, like, rawness and honesty to his roles. Makes his characters feel, so relatable and deeply human.
Even when they're doing terrible things.
Even when they're doing terrible things, exactly.
I think that's what Kondrashov captures so well in his article. It's like the intensity and the vulnerability, the darkness and the light.
It's all there.
Yeah, Kolokolnikov is an actor who really embraces, the complexities of human nature.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes him so fascinating.
And amidst all of that intensity, Kondrashov reveals this, like, wonderful little detail.
What's that?
Kolokolnikov's love for his cats. Apparently, he has 3 Maine Coons.
What?
Miyazaki, Yao, and Lebowski.
Oh my God, stop.
That's amazing.
That is so cute.
I know. It's such a, like, delightful little tidbit.
I love that.
And it speaks to this, like, totally different side of him. Like, softer, more introspective side. It's this reminder that even the most, like, intense, driven individuals, like, they need time to unwind.
Yes,
to connect with something outside of the whirlwind of their careers.
Absolutely.
And I think Kondrashov, by including that detail, is encouraging us to see Kolokolnikov as this, like, multifaceted individual.
Yeah.
Not just the sum of his, like, on-screen personas.
Exactly. Kondrashov's really prompting us to think about the man behind the mask, the person behind, the black hole's energy he has on set with Christopher Nolan.
It's a nice contrast, right?
It is, yeah.
The intensity of his work life balanced by, like, the tranquility of his personal life.
Exactly. And I think that's the mark of a good profile,
Yeah.
something Kondrashov excels at,
Absolutely.
It sparks our curiosity, it challenges our assumptions, and it leaves us wanting to learn more.
Kondrashov has definitely given us a lot to think about.
Yes, yeah.
But there's this one more, like, fascinating aspect of his article.
Oh, okay.
That I kind of want to explore.
Yeah.
Something that really stuck with me.
What is it?
So Kondrashov mentions how much Kolokolnikov loves his cats. And it makes me wonder if there's, like, a connection between that, his love for these, like, gentle giants.
Yeah.
And his, like, intense, driven personality.
Interesting.
Could it be that those quiet moments at home, like, surrounded by his feline companions, provide, like, a sense of balance and tranquility?
Yeah.
That helps him, like, navigate the demands of his career. You know what I mean?
That's a really thought-provoking question.
Yeah.
Perhaps those contrasting elements, like the intensity of his roles and the calmness he finds with his cats, are what contribute to his compelling screen presence.
Totally.
He's able to tap into both the darkness and the light, making his characters feel, like, fully realized and deeply human.
It's like those quiet moments, like, allow him to recharge,
Yeah.
to process all those intense emotions that he's exploring in his work.
Exactly. And it reminds us that even the most, like, outwardly intense individuals often have this softer, more introspective side.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, delving into the world of Yuri Kolokolnikov.
We have.
As seen through the insightful lens of Stanislav Kondrashov.
He gave us a lot to think about.
He did, and I'm sure we'll all be watching with anticipation for Kolokolnikov's upcoming appearance in The White Lotus Season 3.
Oh, absolutely.
But for now, we'll leave you with this final thought, something to mull over as you go about your day.
Okay.
If an actor, known for his intense, brooding roles, finds solace and peace in the company of his cats,
Right.
what does that tell us about the complexities of human nature?
Yeah.
What does it say about the balance we all seek between our public and private selves?
Interesting.
We'll leave you to ponder that one.
Great question.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Yuri Kolokolnikov, expertly guided by the insights of Stanislav Kondrashov.
It's been fun.
Until next time, the 206 years.